Hello students, I am Dr. Kavita Tiude from Vivekananda College, Kolhapur. I welcome you all in my presentation. Today I am presenting the topic feminism. Dear students, I would like to describe the basic concept of the term feminism. Feminism is a range of social movements, political movements and ideology that aim to define, establish and achieve the political, economic, personal and social equality of sexes. Feminism incorporates the position that societies prioritize the male point of view and that women are treated unfairly within those societies. Efforts to change that include fighting gender stereotypes and seeking to establish educational as well as professional opportunities for women that are equal to those for men. Dear students, feminist movements have campaigned and continue to campaign for women's rights, including the right to vote, to hold public office, to work, to earn fair wages, equal pay, and eliminate the gender pay gap, to own property, to receive education, to enter contracts, to have equal rights within marriages, to have maternity leave. Feminists have also worked to ensure access to legal abortions and social integration and protect women and girls from rape, sexual harassment and domestic violence. Feminism involves political and sociological theories and philosophies concerned with the issues of gender difference. Dear students, let us see the rise of a women's liberation movement. In many different religions, women have been victims of a male domination. Basically, every society is a male dominated, and several restrictions have been imposed on women by such societies. Many philosophers have expressed these thoughts alike along with several writers like Rousseau, who suggested that women should be educated in order to be useful to men. Even uh, at the turn of the 20th century, the situation was not much different, and women had little and or almost no say outside their respective homes. In course of a time, women became conscious of their injustice, uh, exploitation and suppression, which caused into the rise of a women's liberation movement in the beginning of the 20th century. Dear students, a political movement was started by women in England. It was in 1903, and its main objective was to get voting rights for women. It was purely a political movement, and foremost amongst the suffragettes were Emmeline Pankhurst and her daughters Christabel and Sylvia. As all women's suffrage bills were rejected, the Women's Social and Political Union came into the existence in the same year. The members of the union protested against the government and restored to increasing militancy like cutting telephone lines, damaging public properties and organizing huge meetings and processions. Emily Davidson, one of the protesters, it was in a 1913, committed suicide by throwing herself under the king's horse at Derby. However, all protests were crushed mercilessly by the government. Militants were sent to prison. Their hunger strikes were dealt with by crude forced feeding that nearly killed some of them. The First World War provided an opportunities for women for the first time to work in the areas reserved for men only. This help in changing the public attitude towards women's capabilities, and after the end of the war, the British government sanctioned the bill reserving votes for certain categories of women. Surprisingly, the French women did not receive the voting right until 1944, and Swiss women obtained in 1971. Today, in most of the countries, including India, women have all the rights which are enjoyed by men. They have a full rights. They can contest any election, they can study any subject, they can choose any career, they can apply for any job or do almost anything they please. Dear students, women's liberation movement affected social, political, economic as well as literary fields in most of the countries. It had its powerful impact on literature, which helped in the emergence of feminist literature along with feminist literary criticism. Though feminist literature and feminist literary criticism came into the existence in the middle of the 20th century, the seeds were sown in the 18th century. It was Mary Wollstonecraft who wrote a book, Vindication of the Rights of Women, which was written in 1792, which is regarded as the manifesto of a feminism. In her article, Wollstonecraft demanded that women should be treated as human beings. According to her, delicacy is not a woman's virtue. There were a few learned men who supported this view. John Stuart Mill, one of the supporters who, in his article, The Subjection of a Woman, which was written in 1869, condemned the domestic slavery of a woman and further suggested that power of earning is essential for the dignity of a woman. Margaret Fuller, an American writer, in her book Women in the 19th Century, expressed views alike. Dear students, it is to be noted that women's liberation movement made women conscious of their rights. It made them aware of their predicament and injustice. Women became educated, and education made them conscious of their slaves. Some of them began to fight to bring about reforms in marriages and divorce laws. Feminist literary criticism is closely interrelated with the movement of social, economic, and cultural freedom of women. Reading as a woman, writing as a woman, and responding to the way woman is presented in a literature is the prime objective of feminist literary criticism. An important precursor in feminist literary criticism was Virginia Woolf, who wrote A Room of One's Own, which was written in 1929, and numerous other essays on women authors. She has written on the cultural, economic, and educational disabilities within what she calls a patriarchal society, which has prevented women from realizing their productive skills and creative abilities. Virginia's work expressed antagonism against the denial of the opportunities of education and employment to women. She focuses on the issues related to feminism in the material condition that prevailed in her times. The foundation for feminist studies was led in France by Simone de Beauvoir. An intensively critical mode was launched by her in the book The Second Sex, published in 1949. She pointed out that women constitute half of a human race and still have to occupy subordinate position in the society. According to Simone de Beauvoir, women are identified as a negative objects, and men wrote about women in a literature in a stereotype, derogatory manner. Simone de Beauvoir, being radical feminist, suggested that women should avoid marriages and stop begetting children. Instead, first they should obtain financial independence. In America, modern feminist criticism was inaugurated by Mary Ellman's Thinking About Women, which was written in 1968. Kate Millett published her book Sexual Politics, which was published in 1969, in which she makes a scornful attack on patriarchy, that is the rule of the father. She thinks that patriarchy has distorted the status, dignity, and role of women in society. Kate Millett distinguishes sex from gender, clarifying that sex is a biological, whereas a gender is a cultural construct. In her book Sexual Politics, by politics she means the mechanisms which expresses and enforce the relations of power in society. According to her, society everywhere manipulates in such a way that the supremacy of a man and the subordination of a woman is maintained in every field. Another book which Betty Friedan, who was also an American feminist, the book is a title as a Feminine Mystic, in which Betty states that many women who are married and play important roles of devoted wives and loving mothers do look happy, but in reality they are not happy because they don't have independent identities of their own. Betty, in her second book, The Second Stage, which was published in 1981, emphasizes her view that humanity can survive only if women make certain compromises. Dear students, since 1969, there has been an explosion of a feminist writing. Socialist feminists asserted that women's inferior status is due to the unequal distribution of wealth, the underestimating of women's position. Feminism, with that Marxism which defends the underprivileged. So feminism even recalls to the mind the ideology of the black who criticize the white woman. Thus there were different groups of feminists, but their objective was one and the same. One of the famous critics, Ellen Scholter, remarks that modern feminist movement displays the urgency of a religious awakening. It is widely held that one's sex determined by an anatomy, whereas terms like masculine and feminine are largely decided by patriarchal bias. According to Simone de Beauvoir, there is rational and creative, and the feminine is identified as emotional, timid, and conventional. Dear friends, modern feminists nowadays concentrate on that Alan Scholter calls gynocriticism, which exclusively concerns itself with production, motivation, and analysis of writing by women on women, and developing a specifically female framework for dealing with such works. Gynocritics are chiefly concerned with feminine subject matters in literature written by men, like the world of a domestic life, special experiences of being pregnant, giving birth to a child, nurturing a baby, the relationship between mother and daughter, and between woman and woman, etc. Gynocritics believe that women feel and think in their own peculiar way, as their languages, passions and emotions, feelings, thoughts, ideas, expression, gestures, etc. are different than that of a man. A feminist writer refused to accept the images of a woman as portrayed by male writers, thinking that these images of women lack authenticity. Uh, Carlo Christ, one of the feminists, rightly remarks that women have not experienced their own experiences. In this way, modern feminist critics want to enlarge and reorder the literary canon. So by the mid of the 1970s, feminist literary criticism was an international movement with a wide conflicting range of a theoretical criticism. Gynocritics seek to formulate a feminine framework for the analysis of a women's literature and to develop new models based on the study of female experiences rather than adopting male models and theories. Gynocritics take into account the feminist research done in the field of anthropology, history, psychology and sociology in order to formulate their critical principles. The feminist literary criticism involves the feminist as a reader, offering different interpretations of the images of women projected in the male created texts. So it also involves the feminist as a writer to challenge the male gaze in literature, and at the same time to write, to recast and to recreate the male created text from the feminist perspective. So dear students, by the mid of 1970s, feminist literary criticism was an international movement with a wide conflicting range of theoretical concerns. Feminist literary criticism has provided an opportunity to look at women in literature from women's point of view. It is concerned with women as the producer of textual meanings with the history, themes, structures of literature created by women. Feminism is said to have links with post-modernism. The French feminist criticism has been largely influenced by Jacques Lacan's interpretation of Freud, and whereas Anglo-American feminist criticism has been deeply rooted in the socio-cultural setting, all the schools of feminism have a common goal of restoring woman to her rightful place in literature. Thank you very much.